to Sam Cook. So far it's been an awesome morning, about 3 or 4 degrees and quite icy. The sun's just hitting the hill just over in front of me. I've got a hind and a calf just having a bit of a feed on a tree. Got some overhanging mistletoe there and they're having a bit of a chomp on that, so that's pretty cool to watch. Also got another hind on the other side of the gully. She's bedded up, kind of up and down a little bit, about 480 metres away, just in some bracken. So I'll just keep an eye on these few deer and we'll see what develops. Just had a sambar hind walk up underneath me. I've still got this one over the other side of the gully, and the hind and calf just up the hill there. This one here looks like it's only about 160-70 metres away. It's just making its way up through some brush. I reckon I'll set up for a shot and take her. By the time she walks out into little patch where it looks like she's contouring to 185 metres, so I'll go set up, see what we can do. Shot this deer at 185 metres. It's just come out below me after I've been watching one other deer just sit on the other side of the gully, quite unalarmed, 480 metres, and another hind and calf that just went over the top to their beds. Funny thing is, this other sambar, this other hind, is still on the other side of the gully after the shot. So it's in eye shot and ear shot of where I am, and yeah, still pretty uninterested in moving off, so interesting. Anyways, I better go track this deer. So here we are, big beautiful hind. I think she might be preggo. She's quite swollen in the belly. Could just be a little bit of bloating. I did give it about 20 minutes before I came looking for her, but we'll see when I pull her apart. If I could see whether she was pregnant or not through the trees, I have my own little debate on whether I take them or not, but unfortunately for this girl today, I'm in real need of meat. So this is a real blessing to have this beautiful hind just pop out below me for an easy shot. And to that, our bullet placement. So centre of shoulder, I've come back about 6 inches. She was quartering away, as you'll see from previous footage of the shot. She had her head slightly turned and she was poking uphill a touch. So the bullets come through on a slight angle. We've got double lung. It's evident that there's plenty of lung on the ground just behind me. And the exit hole, it's just perfect. We've got about a inch and a half to 2 inch exit hole with all the hair blown off around it, which is just a testament to the energy that 210 nozzle is carrying out of the 300 RUM. We've got about a 3,050 feet per second muzzle velocity, so she's moving. But yeah, it was a perfect result. She's only gone a couple of steps, and I'm absolutely stoked. I really hate it when these things suffer. So thank you very much, big girl. I'll get to pulling her down and getting her out of here. Righto, so got her apart. Definitely not pregnant, just fat. Her stomach was chock-a-block full of feed, which isn't surprising because around here there's plenty of it. Have a go at this heart. Just covered in fat, just like the rest of it. Absolutely beautiful. So just a little bit of a look at how I've pulled her down today. I've left her fairly well intact. Pretty much just come up behind the last rib and knocked her off at her spine there, taken her head off, head's in the bag, and I'll bag up these organs to take two. My road out is only a couple of 100 metres up the hill, so I'll carry all the gear up there, nothing spared. Okay, so here we are for the first part of our cooking series. It's not for everyone, you know. If you've been hunting a long time, for a short time you might have your ways of doing things. This is just what I like to do, meals that I like to prepare, meals that I like myself, meals that my family like, so let's get stuck in. Righto, now that we've got the skin off, I'm just going to go ahead and trim it up. I'll get rid of any dirty and unwanted flesh. Then we're going to go ahead with the bone saw and we're going to cut her in half. Alright, so here we've got the left hand side rib cage. It is the side the bullet entered on. You can see here we busted through a rib and we've nicked the bottom of the spine just here. I have had a bit of a dig around and just found one little piece of jacket, but aside from that, the rest was a complete pass-through. So we'll get her on the bench and start breaking it down. Alright, first things first, let's get this shoulder off. There we go. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come through here first with a knife, make a nice clean cut, and then I'm just going to use the little renovator, cordless renovator, just to knock these ribs off. And then this section here will go along with that other part, and that'll be a slow cooked smoky rib meal. So let's get to work. So just going to come through here with the knife, make a bit of a line. Try and get a little bit of separation there, just so when we cut through the bone, we're not ending up with all this bone material going into our meat. Kind of want to separate that best as possible. Right, once we're up to this stage, you can see our ribs there, we've got them all exposed. Just going to get our renovator, or you could use a saw, hand saw, bone saw, recipro saw, anything you've got handy, and just knock through these ribs. Okay, now with our sides removed and our ribs cut halfway down, we're going to proceed to the next step. We're going to take our saw and we're just going to cut through our ribs where they join onto the bottom of the inside of the spine there, and I'll reveal why we're doing that a bit later on in the video. Next step, we're going to run our knife up and down the insides of the ribs. So take your knife, then about 2 inches from where you just made your cut, go along, just make shallow cuts. Don't go right through, you just want to be breaking through that membrane. Alright, now from there, just along our ribs. Not too deep, we just want to be breaking that membrane off. Okay, now that's what you should be left with. Now what we're going to do, we're going to flip him over. We want to keep all this beautiful meat together. So where you've come along and you've trimmed along that membrane, we're now going to come along the tops of the ribs and we're going to clean all the meat off the top of the ribs. Keep cleaning along, and we just want to stop at where we made our incision up here into that membrane. Alright, so here we are. We've got our spine removed. We've got a nice big fat piece of backstrap up the top here. Our ribs are still attached by just maybe about 1 inch left of flesh and sinew. What we're going to do, we're going to go away now. We're going to make our stuffing or our filler. Then we'll come back, cover it all up with stuffing in between this layer of flesh here and the backstrap as well. Then we'll roll it all up and tie her up, and then it's into the oven. Righto, so we're going to take this off the heat now and sit it up on the side, let it cool down a bit. We'll go and cut up our parsley and stir that through. Sort of up to you how much parsley you want to add. I personally like quite a fair bit. I love the taste of the stuff. Yeah, so don't have to be too meticulous with it. Get it cut up, chuck her in the pan, give her a good old mix through, and that just absolutely smells amazing. Just one step we haven't done yet. We actually need to take this piece here, we need to take our hammer and pound that out nice and flat. Reason for that is just softens it up, breaks it up a bit, but it also stretches it out and it gives us more material to roll our stuffing up in as well. Right, so I'll get to that. Alright, okay, so we're going to take our stuffing. Grab the end. Keeping our ingredients on the inside. I'm just going to roll it. Right, now for the next step, we're going to come in with our string underneath our roast, in between each rib. Tie them up. Try and hold him together. Under our roast, next rib. Alright, so there we have it. One rolled rib, sambar roast. Okay, so now we're going to go brown her up in the pan and we'll pop her in the oven later on. Right, just one final addition before we chuck him in the fry pan to brown him up. I'm just going to splash a little bit of seasoning over the top, just for a little bit of flavour for the crust. Alright, so we're all browned up out of the frying pan. What you want to do now, is get yourself some foil, plonking down on the foil. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we want to rack him. But later when we chuck him in the oven, all that flavour and all that moisture is going to get trapped inside of this little foil cocoon. Okay, so we are about 5 degrees off our desired internal temperature, so we're just going to strip back the foil. I'm going to pop it back in, get a bit of a char up on the outside. I'm going to bump the temperature up in the oven so we can get our baked potatoes on and whatever else we're going to throw in to have with our baked dinner. Look at that. That is awesome. Coming up a treat. Righto. So you can see in the bottom there we've got all our juices. So we're just going to leave that like that. Going to leave that sitting in its nice little cocoon. And we're going to brown up the top. So we'll slip that back in and check back with you shortly. Rightio, so that's what we've got. Got our nice back strap in the middle, our stuffing, and our flesh wrapped around the outside. That's a perfect result to a lot of hard work, bit of stuffing around, but at the end of the day you just can't beat it. Thanks for hanging around. I'll see you on the next one.